everyone, welcome to my channel, That's Ready Homeschool. My name is Mrs. T. Hello. I just can't believe it. We are already halfway through the 2024 to 2025 school year, and this is getting me really excited. I feel like I'm at the point now that we've hit halfway where I am ready to start brainstorming what next year is going to look like. So I thought that I'd take you guys along with my brainstorming session today. I'm gonna flip you around, we're gonna look at my computer, and we're gonna go through kind of what we are thinking of doing. You'll see that there are some gaps that I'm still kind of thinking about. There are things that I'm going to forget and change. It is just what it is, but I want to start thinking about where we are going next. Now, the way that I like to do my brainstorming at this point in time is I have basically our prerequisites, which is what we are currently working on, and then next steps. So even though I'm categorizing this for next year, it is possible that some of the next steps will be started before next year, or it is possible that some of the stuff we're still working on this year might need to be completed next year before we go into the next step, basically. So that's kind of how I'm handling it, especially because we do a little bit of schoolwork year round. So in the summer, we will also be making some progress. So I'm not really sure exactly when all of this stuff will start. These plans are going to be for my rising pre-kindergartner. So current preschooler will become a pre-K-er, and current kindergartner will be first grade next year. So yeah, that is it. Let's go ahead and hop into my brainstorming session. Part one, I'm going to be talking today about language arts. Part two, which will be a future video, will be math. And then part three is going to be absolutely everything else. So it's going to be science, social studies, which will be a mix of history and geography. It's going to include French and also the arts, which is kind of even broken down to art and music. All right, you guys, let's just go ahead and get into it.
All right, so let's go ahead and just hop straight into this brainstorming session. It's not going to be perfect. There are going to be some typos. This is not anything set in stone here, and it's not going to be pretty, and that is what it is. So I like to have, when I brainstorm, two sheets pulled open, a Google Sheet and a draw.io sheet, which is saved to my local desktop. Now, the first thing that I want to do is I want to set our goals for both pre-kindergarten and first grade. All right, so the first thing with my pre-kindergartner is we want to focus on phonics, writing, and we also want read aloud and reading time. Now, I'm not going to actually, plan for the read aloud and reading time at this point in time, because what we will read with my pre-kindergartner is going to be dependent upon a lot of what we're doing in our first grade level. So first grade, I'm going to actually copy these as well, and then we will add more to it. So in addition, we want to do spelling. We want reading comprehension. We want grammar. And we also want to start with some writing or composition. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and separate our goals here. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And there we go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, I already started kind of pulling things up in preparation for this, so I didn't have to be typing as much. But what I'm actually going to do is rename, let's go actually mark this as just language arts. Each subject will get its own tab. But let's go ahead and hop over to the draw.io, and now we are going to talk kind of where we are and where we're going. So this is going to be for our, actually we'll do it like this. Let's make this our prerequisites. And then we are also going to have a next steps. So basically what I like to visualize is what we need to complete before we move into the next piece of curriculum. So I'm going to do pre-kindergarten. We're going to put that up here. And yeah, all right. So the first thing is, for my pre-kindergartner, was phonics. So right now we are working on elemental phonics level 1. but we are not going to be shifting into level 2. What I think we are going to be doing, pretty confident, is we are going to step into all about reading level 1. This is what we did with our current kindergartner, and this program just has been working so well. So we are going to actually put, after we finish elemental phonics, I will feel comfortable going into all about reading level. And actually, instead of putting level 1, I'll just put 1. Save a little bit of space here. There we go. So yeah, I'm thinking we'll go into all about reading. Now, the other thing that we are currently doing with phonics here is Hooked on Phonics. And we are on book 2, so we would just be stepping into next phase here, which is step 3. Now, realistically, you guys, all about reading level 1, it's like 53 weeks or something like that. It is a 53 lessons, not 53 weeks. And a lesson for us has been taking between 1 week and sometimes even a little bit more than that. So I don't think that in pre-kindergarten that we will be remotely getting past level 1 here. But Hooked on Phonics is a lot smaller. So I'm actually going to put Hooked on Phonics 4 as well. I just kind of want to note that this is kind of part of the next steps that we might get into within the following year. So that is going to be our phonics. And you know what? Let's try something a little new here. Let's add phonics. Let's change this to be a little bit larger. Oh, good. And I can rotate it. Check this out. I'm just going to put phonics over here. All right, so we have some phonics outlined. Let me go ahead and grab this. We're going to say copy. So for pre-kindergarten, we're going to do phonics here is going to be all about reading level 1, and I'm going to make this into a link so that way I can hop right to it if I need to see it. So phonics is going to also include Hooked on Phonics, which I totally forgot to grab the link for, but I will grab that one at the end. All right, so next we need to go into writing. Writing here, or did I say writing? I meant to say handwriting. Let's fix that. Because writing is different than handwriting for sure. All right, so for handwriting, I am currently working through, on my preschooler, it's kind of a mix between writing and phonics, or handwriting and phonics. So I'm going to kind of keep it a little close here. We are going through the Explode the Code Primer series, so I'll say Primer A. And next step would just be very simple, would be Primer B, and there is the possibility of us also getting to Primer C within the year. I'm not going to rush it, but that's kind of like the general transition or direction that we would be going. So let me go ahead and put this here. Let's call this handwriting. So we did this with my current kindergartner. We really did not start him on a formal handwriting program until he went through this Primer series, this Explode the Code, which does work a lot on that letter formation while mixing that phonics practice, and I thought that that was really good. So I'm actually not going to change that at all. I think that that is perfect. So here we go, handwriting, and let's go ahead and here we'll say Explode the Code, Primer B and C. I'll go ahead and copy this link so that way I can easily hop to it. Going into here, we're pasting. Okay, just kidding. Oh my goodness, it did not work. Okay, let's try this again. Explode the Code, Primer B and C. Now let's try it again. Let's add that link. Apply. Excellent. Okay, so now we have our goal, our pre-kindergarten all lined up. And then again, 3, we're just going to put to be determined. All right, so now let's take a look at first grade. Now for phonics, wow, look at that. That is a statement. First grade. Okay, so for phonics, we are going to, actually, let's go ahead and copy this. Let's paste. Let's drag. Just going to scoot it over this way. And now we can edit. Okay, so first grade. So for phonics right now, we are on All About Reading level 1. And, you know, this program is working really well. It is slow. This is slow going, but it is very good progress, and it's very thorough, and it's a good fit for my kid. So I'm actually planning on us just stepping into level 2 here. So I'm going to go ahead and just jot that down. So we're going to All About Reading level 2. If All About Reading is anything similar to level 2 is similar to level 1, this will take us the full year and potentially beyond that. Now we are on Hooked on Phonics level 3, so I'm just going to go ahead and mark level 4 as being our next step, and level 5 comes after that. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now we are also using Explode the Code as a mix between our phonics and our handwriting practice. So let's just put it over here. But we are on Explode the Code level 1. Now I highly doubt we will get beyond level 2 of Explode the Code. So I'm just going to keep just the next step of Explode the Code here for level 2. But here we go. We have our handwriting. Bring that over here. And I'm actually going to put that down here because there's something else that we do. So currently for handwriting, my rising first grader, current kindergartner, is using the Writing for Learning series. He's on book K, and that is down here. So this is the one that we are currently using. However, we're not going to continue using this series. We are actually going to shift into Getty to Bay, and we are going to be going into their Italics A level, which is actually meant for kindergarten. But for my kid, I think that this is the level that would be a good shift for him. His letter formation is very good, but it definitely could use more work. And I don't want to rush handwriting. Like, he's going to be doing a lot of handwriting practice through just, you know, general practice over here. Like everything else that he's doing that has handwriting now involved, I don't want to burn him out. So we are going to go into Getty to Bay, and that's level A. And let's go in here and actually make a couple of jotted notes here. So All About Reading, level 2, Hooked on Phonics 4 and 5. We will do, this is phonics is number 1. Handwriting will be Explode the Code 2. 2 is also Getty to Bay. I think that's book A. And then 3 is To Be Determined. Let's grab some links here and just link it real fast. So we've got All About Reading. Can close that finally. We have Getty to Bay. Explode the Code. We are thinking book 2. We do not need the 1.5. He is doing really well with his 1 level. I don't think we need the other one. Okay, and then again, I'll grab Hooked on Phonics afterwards because I forgot about that. Okay, so spelling is next. And we are considering All About Spelling. And I was going back and forth. Originally I was like, do we do All About Spelling, Spelling You See, Wordly Wise? These are just a couple of things that we were considering. But because All About Reading is going so well, I did want to continue with that similar theme. I really wanted phonics and spelling to go hand in hand, and I feel like we've had a lot of success with our current. So we have no prerequisite currently for spelling. So we're not currently doing spelling, so there's no technical prerequisite, but I'm going to draw the line from, actually, swap these. Okay, so there are two things I want us to finish before we start spelling. I want us to finish all about reading level 1, and I also want us to finish Explode the Code 1, because in the Explode the Code 1, there is a lot of spelling practice. So all about spelling 1. There we go. And I don't foresee us getting more beyond that for our spelling. And I'm just going to mark spelling down here. Fine. Okay, so now we have phonics, we have spelling, we have handwriting, and let's go ahead and just mark all about spelling level 1. And I was looking at Wordly Wise, but I don't want Wordly Wise. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and press apply. All right, so here's the thing. For numbers 5 through 7 here, reading comprehension, grammar, and writing composition, I have decided that I am really leaning towards lightning literature because this program is supposed to capture all of that. They do say that you have a discussion. So basically, you are going to be using the program. Actually, let's just read this. So it comes with a student book, which is going to teach about grammar mechanics. There will be room for responding to a reading, like journal pages, vocabulary journals, alphabets, and sentence puzzles. We are also going to be doing comprehension questions from the book. We will be doing a brief discussion of the different books that we will be going through, daily composition, and then it says over here, if I can find it, here we go. So the idea is this should be mostly like an all-in-one kind of encompassing curriculum, except we need to do spelling, which we got, phonics, which we have, and then handwriting. So I think we're going to be doing lightning literature, and I have gone through pretty extensively the samples over here. I think these samples are really, really, really lovely. And here in the teacher's guide sample, it does break down every single week. Now, what's interesting about this particular program is it is 36 weeks, but it is meant to be 4 days, but they include an enrichment 5th day. So I don't have to necessarily do this 5 days a week. So let me go in here now. We're going to do lightning literature, grade 1. And this does not have any prerequisites. We are going to call this grammar comprehension and composition, I guess. It's a long name. It's a very long name. Whoopsie, I'm drawing lines here. All right. Put this just here. Let's make that a little smaller. There we go. All right, so no prerequisites for this. We're going to be starting this when we start first grade, basically. So that one's no prereqs. And that's going to be covering a lot here. So let's go ahead and add this to be numbers 5, 7, 6, and 7. So 5, 6, 7, and that's going to be lightning literature, first grade. And let's take a screenshot of, or not screenshot, we're going to grab that link. All right, and then the last thing that I do want to also include, which is going to be number 5, is I do want additional, we really liked exploring the world through story. So we are going to go onto the B level. All right, and the B level here is under folk tales, and it's this guy right here, Trickster Tales. So we will be going through a little bit more world geography. We'll have 2 things that we'll be focusing on, and this is meant to go once a week. So we will go through this a little bit more casually. We won't be doing this every single week, but when we do not do an enrichment day from lightning literature, we are going to explore the world through story. So we'll make our way through the Trickster Tales. So let me just copy this. We're going to put this over here. And go over here as well. And this one is going to have some prerequisites because we are on exploring the world through story. We are on A, so we are going to just put that here, and we'll add exploring the world through story B. And I'm just going to say it's like an additional comprehension. We'll just put that here, I guess. I know, not pretty, but here we go. So this is it. I think we're going to take a pause here for our brainstorm for our current language arts here for the upcoming years. We've got our phonics outlined, our handwriting, we have it all. So basically the only thing that I would need to do now is figure out our read aloud stuff, which I'm not going to do that until I actually get the curriculum in our hands. And there are other pieces like history that are going to have things like novels. So a lot of that is going to be considered in our read aloud planning. So I'm going to wait for that at the very end. Let's take a pause here. Let me know what you guys think. I think I'm going to just hop straight into my next math one here. And but please provide feedback. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you, everyone.